Hey guys, this is Jen DeLeon, and I am so excited to be talking to Trinidad James. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Well, first, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're super busy with everything, so I appreciate you coming by. I'm excited to talk to you because anytime we've done an interview, it's been a quick, just on the carpet
Correct.
back over the years. So seeing your success and just how much you've grown as a person and an artist, I'm really excited to dive into everything that you have going on. So first thing, what got you into fashion? Obviously, with your outfit, you're very stylish and fashionable.
Thanks. I think fashion got into me. I didn't really get into fashion. I don't even think I'm in fashion. I think that I've just confident and I like clothes that match my energy of like my spirit. The people that I grew up with um, in Atlanta, Georgia, when I lived there, um, they were all stylish gentlemen with the same type of confidence as me. And it kind of was subconscious kind of like competition,
Mhm.
of oh, what can I wear that could be unique, but like better than him? And I think just that early stage and that early interaction kind of just led to where I'm at now, where people do look at me as a style icon and somebody that is unique per se. But it's not, I don't think that, I think just clothes just kind of agreed with me.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about so I want to talk about the dad socks first.
Okay.
So I love destroy all doubters. So even when I
hmm
first saw it, I'm like, I love the meaning behind it. So what motivated you to want to have the socks?
when I
And
started the sock brand, it was in the pandemic. And pandemic affected me specifically because I'm an entertainer and we couldn't do shows. And being an independent artist, that it hurt me. It made me feel depressed because performing on stage is the main reason why I do this. It's how I take care of my family. It's how I take care of myself. It's how I take care of my fans. And that was taken from me when the pandemic happened. It was taken from all of us. Um, so in the midst of being in my feelings, being depressed, um, every day is not a bad day. And any issue that you might be going through in life, it's a season, and that season will pass. And you just kind of got to weather the storm. And in the midst of weathering the storm, first the blessing came with me being able to do a shoe collab with my clothing brand Hommework with Saucony. And when I started working on those shoes, I've collected over the years a lot of different fashion books. So like a Gucci book, a Louis Vuitton book, I mean, you name it, all just different type of books. But haven't really, just never really like used them, just wanted to own them because of maybe one day I would. And that day finally came when I was working on my shoes because I just kind of wanted to go down the rabbit hole of doing all my homework, of understanding what made brands that I like successful, what made books as simple as or as cliche as how to make a shoe, and I'm in the midst of that. Uh, I knew that the shoe would take time because it just takes time to design the shoe and bring it to life. There's a lot that goes into the process of making your own sneaker. And so I was like, let me test the market and do something that is more low hanging fruit. And that was socks because I love accessories. I love accessories more than I actually love clothes. Accessories is really my superpower. And so I a guy had reached out to one of my friends saying that he wanted to work with me on socks. He was a sock manufacturer here in America,
Mhm.
in Atlanta, Georgia to be specific. And I told him what I wanted to do. I didn't want to just do any regular white sock with some print on it. That's not me, obviously. And so I told him what I wanted, and he was not familiar with it, but he was like, "I'll get back to you." He finally got back to me like 6, 7 months later. I
Oh
had forgot
wow,
about it.
that's a long time.
Right. And when he got back to it, he's like, I got the materials that it takes to make that sock that you want to make. And we started there in December as like a test. I wanted to test the market to see if people would even buy things from me because the pandemic put me in a weird place.
Mhm.
I know what I can do if I show up to something, but if I can't show up, I don't know how that's gonna go. I feel like I am the best representation of myself. I don't know if anybody can be a better representation of me and my brand other than me. And on one hand, that's awesome. But on the other hand, when you actually understand how business works, what makes you real money is being able to make money where you're not at. And that is something that, I've been working on for a while now, because I know what I can do in person. But, I don't have a clone that could do this interview for me. I have to be the best representation of myself. And that's the same thing with my brands. People associate my sneakers, my socks with me. And anyways, to answer your question, that's when it started in December. It's to test the market, did like 50 pairs, see how people feel. We did like a Trinidad flag pack with a red pair, a black pair, like a natural pair. Um, and it did very, very well. And the guy who did the socks, who manufactured the socks, his name is Kyle the knitter. Um, we gained interest in each other, and he was like, let's start a business with this. Let's do this. There's something there. It kind of did really well. And so we went from 50 socks to, now selling thousands of socks, and we've been getting ready to launch. Not sure when this interview comes out, but
next week.
So yeah, next week actually, we get ready to launch our first big collab with the PGA Tour.
Yes, that was my next thing. So how did that collaboration come about?
I think that just staying consistent and having something that is real. The intention behind the things that I actually really do are always coming from the right place. And I truly do believe when your intentions are in the right place, then success comes behind it, and the right things come. Not usually always on the timing that I want it to come, but it does come. And so we have been patient enough to basically, when we did ComplexCon and I was debuting my sneaker collab with Saucony, I did 3 separate boots that year. I did my Saucony collab booth with Hommework. I did All Gore Everything company booth because I own the term All Gore Everything now, and I've turned it into like a licensing company for gold items.
Okay.
Like making one-on-one gold items, blah, 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 blah. Still up and coming, but that's the idea behind it. And then we had a dad sock booth. At our dad sock booth, we did um, a putt-putt game. If you hit a hole-in-one, you win a pair of socks. Simple, American fun.
Yeah.
The owners, not the owners, one of the guys who does like lifestyle for PGA Tour, he came by and he, grew interest to it because sports is genderless. It's not for a man, it's not for a woman, it's for everybody. It's not for a Spanish person, a black person, a white person, it's for everybody. And when you can make a brand or a product that brings all walks of life together to have a good time and be lucrative, you have almost made it to the American dream. And so he saw that and he gave us his business card, me and my business partner, Kyle. And I lost the card, if I'm being transparent. I'm a busy person, I lose things. But my business partner didn't. Anywho's, I guess they continued their conversation over, because this was a year ago. We're literally coming up on ComplexCon in a week. That'll be a year's time. So they kept the conversation going. Long story short, we piqued their interest. We did a pitch deck, told them, what we wanted to do, what we could do together. This is what's coming up. And we all got on the call and spoke to the PGA Tour, and we made it happen, man. I'm very, very grateful, very, very thankful right now because we haven't sold the product yet. But just the simple fact that, first of all, that they'll give us a shot, and second of all, that we're about to do this. Like staying consistent and believing in something that started off as a test brand or a test product is now turned into a collab with the PGA Tour.
I love also with the dad socks that the proverb or the saying for the brand is you don't have to be a father to be a dad. So I love the branding behind it. One thing I wanted to touch on, you said it a little earlier in the interview where you said you did your homework when it came to, these different brands and what it takes to get into fashion. Do you have any piece from doing that homework on fashion that you were like, wow, that was a mind-blowing fact that I would have never thought in regards to what has to go on behind it?
I don't know if in my study of homework that anything kind of popped out as mind-blowing, but I will say that reading the story of Gucci Guccio, who was the maker of Gucci, the way that he moved and the way that he he is a very stern believer in family. Um, and I mean at all costs. And his energy towards the way he started the brand was the energy that I kind of like kept with me as I kept going. Like to stay consistent is kind of like at all costs.
Mhm.
At all costs, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Don't complain. Don't cry. Head down, eyes up. And that's kind of like what I pulled from that particular book. When it comes to like the making of a sneaker, though, the lessons that were learned that all came from just working on the sneaker and working with Saucony and the people behind the scenes that help you make a sneaker when it's time for you to design your own sneaker. I mean, just the materials, the back and forth, the samples, the legalities of what you can and can't do. Those were all things. The contracts. That's I've done a lot of contracts so far in my life, but they were all entertainment. They weren't make your own sneaker contracts.
So
So
completely
it
different.
was like just steadily keeping myself as a student so that I can get better because I knew I didn't know as much. I know how to put it on, but how to make it not for me, but for someone else because
Mhm.
you'll never be me. But I don't want you to be me. That's not what my brand stand for. I'm just selling you confidence. How I choose to wear what I wear, that's just how I saw it.
Mhm.
That's why we started with primary colors for homework because I wanted to take people, and it's a curriculum based brand. I wanted to take you on a journey. So season one is primary colors. By the time you get to season 10, your wardrobe and the way that you put clothes together, I am showing you how you could wear things. I'm offering you the pieces so that when you look at your closet, you'll be like, oh, wow, I don't just look like everybody else. I do have my own individual style, but you just had to learn that. However, I learned it subconsciously without anybody teaching me. I kind of self-taught, as they would say when it comes to like playing the guitar or something of the sort.
Yeah.
But most people are not self-taught. Most people go to school to learn something. So, homework is like that university of fashion, where we're taking you on this curriculum and this journey to, add even better style and taste to urban communities around the world.
Mhm. And so since you broke down the brand behind homework, I wanted to do the spin of it on the school aspect of it. So what were some of your favorite classes in school when you were younger?
When I was younger, I enjoyed math because I was very good at math.
Okay.
Outside of that, um, gym,
Champions. That's good.
because I was a pretty athletic kid. I played a few sports, in high school and middle school. But I would say math if we say speaking these subjects.
Okay. And then if you were to teach an actual class in school, what would that class be and what would be like the overall curriculum for it?
Um, I would like to teach a class in high school called Surviving Life. It would be my own curriculum, and it would be about everything that is not book smart. It's about honestly being street smart, which I think that a lot of children don't get a chance to hear it from somebody that's reasonable. They learn it in the streets, and the streets are irrational. But I'm a very rational person. So if they learned it from me, I think they'll be received better.
I agree. I think it would be too.
Thanks.
Yes. So let's get into the music. So I want to talk about Ugly first. So there's Ugly 2, Jumping Out the Grave coming out. So even from the first one, I love the concept behind it. I feel like your brand overall, the confidence, and even you had different meanings behind everything. So when you think ugly, people might think, negative, but it's you gotta love yourself. So
Hmm.
what inspired that?
Well, I'm addicted to acronyms. My first
Mm-hmm.
album 10 years ago was called Don't Be Safe. Safe was an acronym for
Yeah.
sensitive as fuck every day. And I just always love it because I love unforced curriculum. I love unforced knowledge. If you try and tell me or force something on me, I'm not going to take it.
Mhm.
But if you allow me to, it's a saying that my brother has said to me, and multiple people, not just my brother, um, but I listen to my brothers more than other people. Um, is I rather you what is it called? I'd rather you show me how to fish than give me the fish. And that is kind of the way that I look at life is like, you did your homework and you figured out what that meant. And when you look at it from that perspective, then you could receive the music better. Um, but if you're just taking it face value, it's very high chance that you'll miss the point.
Oh, absolutely,
You know,
because it's
but I
people's
kind of
music.
treat life like a strainer.
Mhm.
Whereas like I just want the pure or purifier. I just want the clean water. The things that are not clean, I'd rather it stay where it is, even if it's more lucrative to be unclean.
Mhm.
I just want what's earned and deserved to me, and I compare that, or the analogy with that is, I just want the people that actually care, that actually will do their homework, or do the homework so we can have a great interview and talk about
Mhm.
things that actually matter to me. I want the
Absolutely,
same
yeah.
thing for my fans.
Yeah.
How whatever, whereas like I only want the fans that actually care
Yeah.
about what the music means, not the person that's just looking for something, looking for another all or everything where you don't even know what that is because you were
Mhm.
told by the radio or told
What
by
it
the people in the
was.
barbershop
Yep.
that this is a hit.
Mhm.
Like the regular
Yeah.
consumer, they don't know what a hit is. They're just told what
Yeah.
a hit is. And that's not the type of people that I really want to be my fans.
Mhm.
Now when God blesses me with another smash hit this next 10 years of my life, am I not gonna be thankful for it? Am I gonna tell people, no, 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 don't make it a hit? No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Because however it works out, I still put the work in to earn it. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't either way, I'm thankful.
Yes. And so I definitely want to talk about All Gold Everything and the 10-year anniversary for it. But before we get into that, and sorry, this went a little longer than I had planned just because I'm really enjoying the conversation. So there was something you posted in August and I loved the vulnerability behind it. It was an Instagram post and you were breaking down
A
with
tweet
the label. Yeah. So you posted the tweet on Instagram, but the caption on Instagram was
was long,
yes,
but it broke down a lot.
but it was amazing because the vulnerability, the confidence, the you said something specific like I'd rather you appreciate my art than pay for it. So I just love that stand on it. But then you also said top 5 lessons I've ever learned. So I wanted to know what's another one of those top 5 lessons, whether it's music. Yeah, I think within the music industry because you broke it down so well.
Um, you know, what people want from you is what you showcase that you wanted them to want from you. And sometimes that's intentional, but most times you don't know because you're shooting in the dark. Nobody's really people let artists art. And while you're arting, or being a Basquiat, like it was one point in time in my life when I look at a Basquiat painting, I'm like, I don't understand what y'all into because it just seems all over the place.
Hmm.
But as myself, as an artist, started continuing consistently, just like focusing on the craft and making and making and making, I realized that every opinion that people have of me is opinion I started. If you don't know any better and you look at all or everything, you're like, yo, what is this guy on? Like, what is this about? Is this real? If you have nothing to compare it to, you're gonna go off of what's in front of you. And you know, learning to not be so sensitive, learning that vulnerability is your biggest power, but understanding that in the midst of vulnerability, it has to be based on some type of formula, some type of root. Like you can't just be vulnerable to no avail. Like, what's your purpose? I think intention is part of those top 5 lessons to more answer your question, where um, it was points and times in these 10 years where I felt that I'm getting bullied by the internet and I can't fight back against it. You can't just hit everybody in the face. You can't violence is not going to change the perspective of the internet. It's actually going to bury me more. And when I don't have I realize when I don't have a way of releasing how I feel, like I can't put my hands on it, or I can't say something or whatever, I just get very closed in, very like, leave everything alone, forget it all. Um, but in the midst of those dark times that I've had over the years, I had to really, really look at, you know, why do people feel that way about me? You don't really know me, but how would you know me if I never really showed you who I am? I just showed you a version of me. So I had to make that conscious decision of like, do I want to continue to be the person that shows you just a version of me, or a person that is confident enough because I'm Mr. Confidence. So one of the first things I said when we first started this
Yeah.
conversation that I'm just selling confidence. I didn't pick fashion. Fashion picked me. If I am truly that confident, like I say that I am, then I should be able to let the people that actually care and that want to know more things about me. And the intention has to be in that vulnerability. So those two things kind of play hand in hand.
Got it.
Those are the big lessons, the biggest lessons, that I had to learn. Or whatever, what you don't know, you can't blame yourself for. And I didn't know anything when I walked into this game.
Yeah.
I can't say that anymore because I don't know everything, but I know a lot.
Mhm.
And how I use that knowledge and that power now is on me at the end of the day. And so, me and my team and the people that really love me, the people that really rock with me, we just focus on the next 10 years ahead of us. And I just want to do it right.
Would you ever write a book?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you should.
that's in
So,
that's in the stars.
yes, you
For
definitely
sure, for sure.
should.
For sure, for sure.
Definitely. Okay, so let's get into all gold everything. That's the last part of this interview. So what I like to do is I like to go behind the bars of the song, but to get to know you more as a person. So I do know all gold everything was I watched it in one of your previous interviews where this was like the anthem, your anthem for the hood, but not the traditional whatever that anthem was going to be. It's a great video, but before we get into it, so the video, I love the different aspects of it, but the random question I had was whose dog was that you were holding? It was like a tiny puppy, but it was like he was like the star. So
Right. What's so interesting, it wasn't my puppy. Let's
I
start there to
figured it
answer your
wasn't your
question.
puppy. Yeah.
For me, I'm a visual artist.
Yeah.
I got into music because of music videos. I felt that everybody was incredible rappers, but the visuals were boring. So I was becoming bored. And in the midst of wanting to add something to the repertoire, own my own store, I didn't want to keep like living just like having enough money just to take care of my mother and buy new clothes. Like that wasn't enough. Um, I was like, I'm gonna do music and go through the grind. God best blessed me faster than normal when I started, but I still earned and worked on it, still worked for it. And so I say that to say when it came to the All Go Everything video, shout out to Motion Family who shot that video. They're from Atlanta. And shout out to my boy Mike Marasco who shot the Ugly video that you spoke about earlier. I wouldn't be anything without those guys because once again, I got into music for visual. When I'm out there on set and we get ready to shoot a scene, my buddy close to me, I think his name was JP, or somebody, not JP, it was somebody else. He had just got that dog, just got it, baby. And he had came on set because we were on his side of town.
Yeah.
And when he came on set with the dog and was just standing there, he was literally to the right of me. You just couldn't see it in the scene. He was literally to the right of me. I was like, let me see that dog, man. And, I'm holding the dog and I was like, I don't own any animals, but I have a lot of affection to them for them. And they kind of love me when they feel my energy. So, they're so small. When they're so small, you could feel the little heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of caught in the moment. And they was like, oh, we got to shoot. So I was like, shoot. And I just performed with the dog. And that's how that happened.
I had to ask about that because it was like there. I was like, that's intentional for sure because it's you see, and I know that the song is about being comfortable, like in your own skin and all that. So I'm like, I had to know about that. But I digress. Getting into the lyrics. So the intro, you say this shit sound like 007 on N64 and shit. So I know you're talking about the Golden Eye game and based off the James Bond movie. But what were some of your other favorite N64 games to play?
I loved Donkey Kong, Super Smash Brothers, or Mario Kart. I'm sorry, Mario Kart Racing, Killer Instincts, Gold. What else? I think Madden. Huh?
Did you ever play Hang Time? I always bring that up, and I always get
Hangtime.
challenged on that. And they're like, "You're
Hang
thinking NBA Jam." I'm like, "No, I'm
No, no.
thinking of Hang Time." Yeah.
Hangtime. Hangtime was a basketball game. I
Yes.
think it's a 2-on-2 type of
Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I played it. I wasn't that good at it,
That was like
but
the
I
one I was
played.
good at. Yes.
No, definitely. Hangtime's a classic.
Yep.
Hmm.
Pokemon mini games.
I
Those are
wasn't a big
good.
Pokemon game player.
Not the actual I don't know what it's called when it's like Pokemon versus Pokemon, but those mini games, I
Mhm.
liked those.
Nice.
Those were more fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. Are there any other video games not N64 related that you like playing?
Oh, tons. I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, I don't get a chance to play many games now. But growing up, Madden definitely, I think of the games that really made me have friendships with my old friends. So Madden, NBA Live before 2K became 2K. Um, really Madden. We were
Okay.
addicted to Madden. Me and the bunch that I grew up with. Madden was the thing for me. I always loved Taken, the fighting game Taken. Mortal
Mm,
Kombat, of course, Street Fighter, of course. Um, yeah, those games are the ones that like stand out. Dreamcast was a thing too.
yep.
Dreamcast was incredible. You had NBA Street. I loved NBA Street. That was a great, great game. Um, Racing games, a couple of them like Need for Speed was awesome. Um, I felt like Gran Turismo always had incredible graphics. Like they were one of those video games that were always pushing the boundaries on graphics.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that stand out to me.
Okay. A few more for you on Instagram straight flexing. So this was at the time when Instagram was first came out. So how do you think people try to Instagram flex now versus 10 years ago? And how do you spot a fake Instagram flex?
Well, I'm one of those people that look at everything through a dual lens. And, when somebody shows me who they are, I see it two ways. This is who you want me to see, and then I see it another way where it's like you're just acting out. You're just sad. You're just
Mm-hmm.
lonely. It's just according to what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm very good at discernment. I think I'm very good at reading people's energy. Um, seeing past a smile, seeing past animosity.
Yeah.
Um, so the way that people flex now, um, it's at an all-time high. Um, whether you're clout chasing or not, we're all it's very tough times. Like life is not easy. Getting up every day and doing your hair, doing your makeup, looking good and feeling confident to do your job, whatever that job is, whether it's interviewing, holding a camera and doing sound, whatever it is, it's not easy. And so if you get on social media and flex and that makes you happy, I'm not mad at you because I'd rather you do whatever it takes to make you happy than you be in a bad mood and then make my day a bad day if we got to work together.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Two more for you. So this one, there's two different lines, but it's about the different strip clubs. So you say that's Pussy Poppin' on Magic City, and then later than Bad Hoes at Onyx. So I've had many different conversations about the different strip clubs in Atlanta. Which strip club has the best food, though?
Between the two that you named, Magic City is way more popular.
Okay, but are there other ones that you didn't name
Of
in I'll Go
course.
to Everything that
Of
you say
course.
best food, and what are they?
Blue Flame. Um, Blue Flame's food. If we're speaking food, I would say Blue Flame and Magic City for food.
Okay.
Um, you have the Pink Pony, you have Gold Rush. I've been going to the strip club since I was 17 years old. So, I don't really go as much anymore because it's not really that appealing
Yeah.
to me. But, the food is amazing. I mean, I just was in Detroit literally right before I was in Baltimore for a layover and I went to the strip club for some food with some buddies.
What was the food?
I had I ordered lobster bites and lamb chops because I was in Detroit.
That sounds
Detroit is well
amazing.
known for their lamb chops.
Yeah. And I heard there was also one of the strip clubs has a barber shop. There were so many things that I just was so fascinated
Well, yeah,
by. Yeah.
in the South, A gentleman's club is actually what it's called. It goes way, 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 way back. It's just tradition.
Okay.
It's a place for women to take care of their families, and it's a place for men to not want to kill themselves because of how much work they got to do.
Hmm.
So, it's important.
Okay. My last line I want to break down with you, which was also my favorite. Mom always told me, boy, count your blessings. What's another lesson that your mom instilled in you?
My mother's taught me a lot of lessons. I love my mother a lot. Um, a lesson that sticks with me is to know why I'm being kind to somebody. I think that's what is something that sticks with me. Understanding why I'm being kind to someone. Because if I'm not genuinely being kind, that too will pass and it'll be worse in the long run. So it's better to not be anything to someone than to be fake kind to them.
Wow. That's an amazing lesson. Shout out to your mom for
Thanks.
that. So last question, that was the 10-year anniversary for All Gold Everything. So what are some things that you want to accomplish in the next 10 years? And when we talk again, what are we going to be breaking down?
In 10 years,
Yeah.
this is a timestamp, I guess, right?
Yes.
So in 10 years, in the next 10, when we talk again, hopefully I will have my artist development agency off the ground and running, and a lot of young people have already been successful in taking care of their family. My clothing brand, Hommework, will be doing over school uniforms every year. Dad socks will be like Hanes. It's a part of life. You don't think about it. I've directed my own movie and starred in it. My closest teammates and friends are in a position where they take care of their families, and they live the life that they deserve. So hopefully I can bring those things to pass.
And your book. And your book.
The book might be
Yeah.
later than 10 years.
I think you can do it within the 10 years. You have so much knowledge and intelligence, and it needs to be put in a book. So 10 years, 20 years, I'm excited to read what that is.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your time and your knowledge. Congratulations on all your current success and your future success. I'm just excited to see what more God blesses you with in the future, because it's obvious you have great intention and great energy.
Me too. Thank you.
Yes. And before you go, I have a gift for you.
Oh,
So I
okay.
got you some bags from Tote and Carry. Well, there's one bag, and I'll open this one for you.
All right.
So I try to get as stylish as I could,
Oh,
and
nice.
colors that
Good color.
you like. And then here's
Good
this.
Thank
So
you.
it's like a camo.
It's like a vest?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I try to get bright colors. I was doing it based off of what I saw on your
No, I
Instagram.
appreciate this. Good quality leather.
Yeah.
Tote and Carry is the name of the brand?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then if you genuinely like the bags, if you want anything from them, they'll send it over to you.
Is that the IG form too, Tote and Carry?
Yeah, TOTEN. It's N Carry, but yeah.
No,
But I
definitely.
can send the site to Echo, and then you can. They have so many great colors and different styles of things. So
No, I appreciate it.
Yes.
What's it called? I'll check them out and see how we can do something in the future. This is an interesting design here.
yeah, it's really
the way
interesting.
that it works, should I say?
Yeah.
No, for sure. I'll let you
Very
put that back in here.
Yeah.
I'll put this back in here. Thank you, though.
Yes, and because you like acronyms, I want to see if you could do it. Can I challenge you to something?
Sure.
This is the first set. Can you make up an acronym with my name, or is that too long?
No, it's never too long.
All right, let's do that. That's how we'll close out the interview. I can put that away. I'll show that one in here. There you go. Thank you. Put this in here.
You ready?
Oh, you got it already? Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Joyfully enjoy nothing do everything lovingly every day. Or not.
That was so fast. I thought it was going to take at least a minute, but
It's
this
my
is why
favorite thing.
this is why you need to write a book. Thank you.